The reason 95% of people live ordinary lives is not because they lack talent, opportunities, or resources. It's because they're addicted to mediocrity and don't even realize it. You've been programmed from childhood to seek comfort, avoid discomfort, and follow the path of least resistance. Your brain is literally wired to keep you average because average feels safe. But here's the brutal reality. Average is the enemy of excellence. And excellence is the only thing that creates extraordinary results. While you're watching Netflix, successful people are reading while you're sleeping in. Successful people are exercising while you're spending money on things that don't matter. Successful people are investing in their future. The choice between mediocrity and excellence happens every single day in small, seemingly insignificant moments. Most people choose mediocrity because excellence requires them to do things they don't feel like doing when they don't feel like doing them, for years at a time. There was a young man working as a sales clerk in a department store, earning minimum wage, struggling to pay his bills. At 25 years old, he felt trapped in mediocrity. Then he made one simple choice that would transform him into a multi-millionaire within a decade. That choice was not to start a business, not to invest in stocks, not to change careers. His choice was to read for 30 minutes every single day. That man was Charlie Tremendous Jones. And this one decision changed the trajectory of his entire life. You see, most people believe that success requires massive actions, dramatic changes, or extraordinary circumstances. They think you need to revolutionize your entire life overnight. But the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. Your future is determined not by the big, dramatic moments, but by the small, seemingly insignificant choices you make every single day. Let me show you the mathematics of transformation. If you improve yourself by just 1% every day, by the end of 1 year you will be 37 times better than when you started. 1% doesn't seem like much, it's barely noticeable, but compound that small improvement over time and the results become extraordinary. Conversely, if you decline by just 1% each day, within a year you'll be down to almost nothing. This is the compound effect in action, and it governs every aspect of your life. The wealthy understand this principle. They know that reading 1 book per month for 10 years means consuming 120 books of specialized knowledge. They understand that investing 10% of their income consistently, even small amounts, creates financial independence over time. They recognize that exercising 30 minutes daily builds not just physical strength, but mental discipline that affects every area of their performance. 5 years represents the perfect time frame for personal transformation. It's long enough for the compound effect to work its magic, yet short enough to maintain your motivation and focus. Think about it. 5 years ago, where were you? What were you doing? How different is your life today? 5 years from now, you'll be asking yourself the same question about today. The question is, what story will you be telling right now, at this very moment? You are on a trajectory. Your current habits, your daily routines, your regular choices are propelling you toward a specific destination. If you change nothing starting today, where will you be 5 years from now? Will you be healthier or less healthy? Will you be wealthier or struggling financially? Will your relationships be stronger or weaker? Will your career be advancing or stagnating? Most people avoid this honest assessment because the answer frightens them. They prefer to hope that somehow, magically, their circumstances will improve without any fundamental changes in their behavior. But hope without action is merely wishful thinking. Your future is not determined by your... Consider your life as a pyramid with one foundational choice at the bottom supporting everything above it. When you make one core transformative choice, it influences every other decision in your life. If you choose to wake up 1 hour earlier each day, you suddenly have time for exercise, reading, planning, or skill development. This choice affects your energy levels, which impacts your work performance, which influences your income potential, which determines your lifestyle options. If you choose to save 10% of every dollar you earn, You begin thinking differently about purchases. You become more conscious of value. You start looking for ways to increase your income. You begin studying successful people. You develop patience and delayed gratification. One choice creates a cascade of positive behaviors. Sarah was a struggling single mother working 2 jobs to make ends meet. At 32, she made one choice that seemed almost insignificant at the time. She decided to take one online course each month to improve her skills. Just one course. 12 courses per year. Nothing dramatic. But each course built upon the previous one. Within 3 years, she had acquired enough knowledge and credentials to land a job paying 3 times her previous income. Within 5 years, she started her own consulting business. One choice. Consistent action, complete life transformation. Marcus was 50 pounds overweight and felt exhausted constantly. He tried every diet, every fitness program, every quick fix. Nothing lasted. Then he made one simple choice. He would walk for 20 minutes every day. No exceptions. Not run, not join a gym, just walk. That one choice led to better sleep, which gave him more energy, which motivated him to eat better, which resulted in weight loss, which boosted his confidence, which improved his work performance, which increased his income. One choice created a positive spiral that transformed every aspect of his life. The power of a single choice lies not in the choice itself, but in its ability to create momentum. When you make one positive choice consistently, it builds your confidence and your ability to follow through. It proves to yourself that you can change. It creates what psychologists call self-efficacy, the belief that you can influence events affecting your life. But here's what most people miss. The choice must be specific, measurable, and sustainable. Vague decisions like, I want to be successful, or I need to get in shape, have no power because they lack clarity and actionability. The transformative choice is concrete. I will read one business book every month, or I will save 15% of my income, or I will exercise 30 minutes every day. Your life today is a sum total of all the choices you've made up to this point. Every habit, every routine, every regular behavior has contributed to creating your current circumstances. The beautiful truth is that you have the power to change your trajectory starting right now. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need to wait for Monday or next month or next year. The moment you make one transformative choice and commit to it completely, you begin writing a new chapter of your life story. Now comes the moment of truth. You understand the power of one transformative choice, but which choice should you make? This is where most people get paralyzed by options or make the wrong decision entirely. They choose what sounds impressive rather than what will actually transform their lives. Stand in front of a mirror and ask yourself this question. What is the one area of my life that, if I improved it significantly, would have the greatest positive impact on all other areas? Be brutally honest. Not what you think you should say, not what others expect you to say, but what your gut instincts tell you is holding you back the most. The answer might surprise you. Many people think they need to focus on making more money, but discover their real limitation is poor health that drains their energy and focus. Others believe they need better relationships, but realize their lack of personal confidence is the root cause of their social struggles. Some assume they need a better job, but find that their inability to communicate effectively is blocking every career opportunity. This is the 80/20 principle applied to personal development. 80% of your results come from 20% of your activities. Similarly, 80% of your life's limitations stem from 20% of your weaknesses. Find that critical 20%, and you've found your transformative choice. Let me share the 5 critical life areas where most transformative choices originate. First is skill development. In our rapidly changing economy, your ability to learn and master new skills determines your value in the marketplace. If you haven't acquired a significant new skill in the past 2 years, you're falling behind. The choice might be to dedicate 1 hour daily to learning a high-income skill relevant to your field. Second is physical health and energy. Your health affects everything else. Low energy means poor focus, reduced creativity, decreased motivation, and limited stamina for pursuing your goals. If you're constantly tired, if you avoid physical activities, if you rely on caffeine to function. Your transformative choice might be establishing a consistent exercise routine or dramatically improving your nutrition. Third is financial discipline. Money problems create stress that bleeds into every area of your life. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, if you have no emergency fund, if you're not saving for your future, your transformative choice might be to save a specific percentage of every dollar you earn, regardless of your current income level. Fourth is relationship quality. Success without meaningful relationships is hollow. If you're lonely, if your relationships are superficial, if you struggle to connect with others, your transformative choice might be to develop your communication skills or to consistently invest time in building deeper connections with the people who matter most. Fifth is personal growth and mindset. Your outer world reflects your inner world. If you're constantly negative, if you avoid challenges, if you blame others for your circumstances, your transformative choice might be to read personal development books consistently or to practice daily gratitude and positive thinking. Here are the clarity questions that will reveal your transformative choice. What frustrates you most about your current situation? What do you complain about regularly? What do you wish you had started 5 years ago? What would you regret not pursuing if you knew you only had 5 years left? What skill or habit do you admire most in successful people you know? Your answers will point toward your transformative choice. But remember, it must be something you can control completely. You cannot choose to get promoted because promotion depends on others. But you can choose to develop the skills that make promotion inevitable. You cannot choose to find the perfect relationship because that involves another person's free will. But you can choose to become the type of person who attracts and maintains healthy relationships. The most common transformative choices fall into predictable categories. Reading for 30 minutes daily transforms your knowledge and perspective. Exercising consistently transforms your energy and confidence. Saving money regularly transforms your financial security and options. Learning a high-value skill transforms your career prospects. Practicing gratitude transforms your mindset and relationships. But here's the critical distinction. Your transformative choice must align with your current situation and greatest limitation. A wealthy person who's out of shape should choose exercise. A healthy person who's broke should choose financial discipline. A financially secure person who lacks skills should choose learning. The choice that will transform your life might not be glamorous. It might not impress your friends. It might seem too simple or too obvious. But transformative choices are usually simple. They're just not easy to maintain consistently. Once you identify your choice, write it down in specific, measurable terms. Not get healthier, but exercise for 30 minutes, 5 days per week. Not learn more, but read 1 business book per month and implement 1 key concept from each book. Not save money, but save 15% of every paycheck automatically. Your transformative choice is waiting for you to recognize it and claim it. The clarity will come when you stop looking for the perfect choice and start looking for the right choice for your current situation. You've identified your transformative choice. Now comes the real challenge, making it stick. This is where 92% of people fail. They make the right choice. They start with enthusiasm. Then within weeks or months, they're back to their old patterns. Why does this happen? Because they don't understand the science of commitment. Most people fail because they rely on motivation instead of systems. Motivation is an emotion, and emotions are temporary. You feel motivated on Monday morning, but by Wednesday afternoon, when you're tired and stressed, that motivation evaporates. Successful people don't depend on feeling motivated. They create systems that make the right choice automatic. The commitment formula has 4 essential components. First, you must write your choice down as a specific, measurable goal with a deadline. Research from Harvard Business School shows that people who write down their goals are 10 times more likely to achieve them than those who don't. Your brain treats written goals differently than mental wishes. When you write, "I will read for 30 minutes every day for the next 90 days, you activate your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that notices opportunities and resources related to your goal. Second, you need accountability. Tell someone you trust about your commitment and ask them to check on your progress weekly. Better yet, find someone who wants to make a similar commitment and become accountability partners. When you know someone else is watching, you're far more likely to follow through. Social pressure can be your greatest ally in maintaining consistency. Third, engineer your environment to support your choice. If you want to read more, place books everywhere and remove distractions, like your phone, from your reading area. If you want to exercise, lay out your workout clothes the night before and put your gym bag by the door. If you want to eat better, stock your kitchen with healthy foods and remove tempting junk food. Make the right choice easier and the wrong choice harder. Fourth, track your progress daily. What gets measured gets managed. Create a simple tracking system, whether it's marking an X on a calendar, using a smartphone app, or keeping a journal. Seeing your streak of consecutive days builds momentum and creates psychological investment in maintaining your commitment. Now, let's address the 21-day myth. Popular culture claims you can form a new habit in 21 days. But research from University College London shows the average time is actually 66 days, with some habits taking up to 254 days to become automatic. Don't get discouraged if your new choice doesn't feel natural after 3 weeks. Persistence is the key. Here's how to accelerate the process. Start smaller than you think necessary. If you want to exercise for an hour daily, start with 15 minutes. If you want to read for an hour, start with 10 minutes. Success breeds success. It's better to maintain a smaller commitment consistently than to fail at a larger one repeatedly. You can always increase the intensity once the habit is established. When setbacks occur, and they will, respond immediately. Don't let one missed day become 2, or 2 become a week. The comeback is always stronger than the setback if you act quickly. Treat setbacks as feedback, not failure. Ask yourself, what circumstances led to the break in your routine, and adjust your system accordingly. Identity plays a crucial role in commitment. Instead of saying, I'm trying to exercise more, say, I'm an athlete in training. Instead of, I'm trying to read more, say, I'm a student of success. When you shift your identity, your actions naturally align with who you believe you are. People act in ways consistent with their self-image. Create rituals around your transformative choice. Rituals are more powerful than habits because they have emotional significance. Before you begin your daily reading, make a cup of tea and sit in the same chair. Before you exercise, play the same energizing music. These rituals signal to your brain that it's time for your important activity. The science is clear. Commitment isn't about willpower or motivation. It's about creating systems, environments, and identities that make your transformative choice inevitable. When you master the science of commitment, you transform from someone who tries to change. The first 90 days of executing your transformative choice are absolutely critical. This is your make or break period. Research shows that if you can maintain a new behavior for 90 consecutive days, the probability of continuing it long term increases dramatically. These first 3 months separate the dreamers from the achievers. During your first 30 days, focus solely on consistency, not intensity. Your only job is to show up every single day and perform your chosen activity, even if you do it poorly or for less time than planned. If your choice is to exercise for 30 minutes, but you only manage 10 minutes on a difficult day, that still counts as success. You're building the neural pathways that make this behavior automatic in days 31 through 60. You'll face what I call the enthusiasm valley. The initial excitement has worn off, but you haven't yet seen dramatic results. This is when most people quit. They expect to see major changes immediately and become discouraged when progress seems slow. Remember, you're laying a foundation for the next 5 years, not trying to transform overnight. Trust the process. Days 61 through 90 are your momentum phase. You'll start noticing the positive effects of your choice rippling into other areas of your life. Your confidence grows because you've proven to yourself that you can change. This psychological victory is often more valuable than the practical benefits of your new behavior. Measuring progress correctly is essential for maintaining motivation. Most people measure the wrong things and get discouraged. If your transformative choice is reading, don't just count books completed. Track knowledge gained, ideas implemented, connections made between concepts. If your choice is exercise, don't just measure weight loss. Track energy levels, sleep quality, mood improvements, strength gains. Keep a daily journal of small wins and unexpected benefits. The businessman who started walking 30 minutes daily didn't just lose weight. He began having his best ideas during walks, improved his problem-solving ability, and started sleeping better. The woman who committed to reading noticed improved vocabulary in her presentations, better decision-making skills, and increased confidence in conversations. Setbacks are not failures, they're data points. When you miss a day or perform poorly, ask 3 questions. What circumstances led to this? How can I prevent this situation in the future? What can I learn from this experience? Thomas Edison didn't see failed experiments as failures, but as successful discoveries of what doesn't work. The key to bouncing back from setbacks is the 24-hour rule. Never let more than 24 hours pass before resuming your commitment. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to restart. Treat setbacks like a stumble while running. You don't stop running. You regain your balance and continue forward. Momentum builds through small wins compounding over time. Each day you follow through on your commitment, you make the next day easier. Each book you finish makes starting the next one more natural. Each workout you complete makes the next one feel more routine. This psychological momentum becomes unstoppable when maintained consistently. Your support system becomes crucial during the execution phase. Surround yourself with people who encourage your growth. Join groups of like-minded individuals pursuing similar goals. Find a mentor who has already achieved what you're working toward. Distance yourself from people who criticize your efforts or try to pull you back to your old pattern. Create celebration rituals for milestones. When you complete your first 30 days, acknowledge this achievement. After 60 days, reward yourself with something meaningful that supports your continued progress. These celebrations reinforce the positive association with your new behavior and provide motivation for the next phase. Track leading indicators. Not just lagging indicators. Leading indicators are the activities you control that predict future results. If your goal is career advancement, reading industry publications is a leading indicator. Lagging indicators are the results, like getting promoted. Focus on consistently performing the activities, and the results will follow naturally by the end of your first 90 days. Your transformative choice will feel less like something you have to do and more like something you are. This identity shift marks the transition from conscious effort to unconscious competence, setting the stage for massive results over the next 5 years. Close your eyes for a moment and transport yourself exactly 5 years into the future. You made that one transformative choice and stuck with it religiously every single day for 1.825 consecutive days. You showed up and did what you committed to do. What does your life look like now if your choice was to read for 30 minutes daily? You've consumed over 150 books of specialized knowledge. You've become an expert in your field. Your vocabulary has expanded, your critical thinking has sharpened, your confidence in conversations has soared. colleagues seek your advice, opportunities flow to you because you become known as someone with deep knowledge and fresh insights. Your earning potential has multiplied because you've developed rare and valuable skills. If your choice was consistent exercise, you've transformed not just your body, but your entire relationship with challenges. You've proven to yourself that you can do difficult things consistently. This mental toughness carries over into every area of your life. You take on bigger projects at work because you know you have the discipline to see them through. Your energy levels allow you to be fully present with your family. Your confidence affects how you walk, how you speak, how you present yourself to the world. If your choice was financial discipline, saving 15% of every dollar you earned, you've accumulated substantial wealth. More importantly, you've developed the mindset of abundance and delayed gratification that wealthy people possess. You make decisions based on long-term value rather than short-term impulse. You sleep peacefully at night knowing you have financial security. You have options that others don't have because you're not living paycheck to paycheck. This transformation doesn't just affect you. It creates ripples that touch everyone in your sphere of influence. Your children watch you read every day and develop their own love of learning. Your spouse is inspired by your discipline and begins making positive changes in their own life. Your coworkers are motivated by your growth and start taking their own development seriously. Your friends begin asking for advice because they see the positive changes in your life. The financial implications of your transformative choice compound dramatically over 5 years. The person who reads consistently doesn't just gain knowledge, they increase their earning potential by becoming more valuable in the marketplace. The Georgetown University Center on Education in the Workforce found that people who continuously develop their skills can increase their lifetime earnings by hundreds of thousands of dollars compared to those who don't. The person who exercises consistently doesn't just get healthy, they reduce their healthcare costs, increase their productive years, and often qualify for lower insurance premiums. They have more energy to pursue additional income opportunities and career advancement. The person who saves consistently doesn't just accumulate money, they develop financial intelligence that helps them make better investment decisions and avoid costly financial mistakes. Think about the legacy you're creating through this one choice. Your commitment to daily reading creates a family culture of learning that your children will pass on to their children. Your dedication to health sets an example that could literally save the lives of people who look up to you. Your financial discipline teaches others that wealth is not about how much you earn, but how much you keep and invest wisely. But here's what many people don't realize. The most profound impact of your transformative choice is who you become in the process. The person who can commit to reading 30 minutes daily for 5 years develops unshakable self-discipline. The person who exercises consistently for 5 years develops mental toughness that makes them unstoppable in other areas. The person who saves money religiously for 5 years develops the delayed gratification skills that separate the wealthy from the poor. You become someone who does what they say they will do. You become someone others can count on. You become someone who doesn't make excuses. You become someone who finds solutions instead of problems. You become someone who takes responsibility for their life and their results. This identity transformation is worth more than any external achievement because it affects everything you do for the rest of your life. Right now, at this very moment, you stand at a crossroads. One path leads to more of the same results, the same limitations, the same frustrations you've been experiencing. The other path leads to the transformed version of yourself 5 years from now. Waiting is not a neutral choice. Every day you delay is a day of compound growth you're losing forever. The person who starts reading today has a 365-day head start on the person who starts reading next year. Time is your most precious asset, and you cannot buy it back once it's gone. Your action plan starts right now, today, before you leave this room. First, write down your transformative choice in specific, measurable terms on a piece of paper. Make it clear enough that a stranger could understand exactly what you're committing to do. Second, Tell someone about your commitment within the next 24 hours and ask them to check on your progress weekly. Third, take the first action toward your goal before you go to sleep tonight. If it's reading, buy your first book or download it to your device. If it's exercise, lay out your workout clothes. If it's saving money, set up the automatic transfer. The time for thinking, planning, and preparing is over. The time for action is now. Your future self is counting on the decision you make in the next 60 seconds. 5 years from now, you'll either thank yourself for starting today or regret that you didn't. The choice that will decide your next 5 years is the choice you make right now.